Joining me on the special broadcast, Neerja Choudhary, Tushar Gupta, Radhika Ramaseshan, and Rashid Kidwai. Neerja, beginning with you. 2 victories, 2 states. One, where India's youngest party defeats the traditional and stalwart players. The other, where a Mahant, who was seen as a surprise element first time around in 2017, goes and wins big for his party in 2022. Both have firsts and both are historical.
Look, Maria, the shortlisting of your list, of who could be the person of 2022 for that year, that itself is fascinating. It shows the incredible diversity of India. This entity unique in the world, the like of which does not exist anywhere in the globe. And you as you said, a Mahant comes back to power. You have Bhagwant Mann, as you say, the youngest party, absolutely, unexpected. So unexpected that the future battle that people are talking about in Punjab is going to be BJP versus Aam Aadmi Party. Already people are talking of this. You have KTR, who's ruling, actually for all practical purposes, is running the state of Telangana, even though his father happens to be the chief minister. And you have Nirmala Sitharaman, who as finance minister, we are facing huge economic challenges, and yet she has maintained a holding operation, very difficult one, through COVID times and the Ukraine war, and yet faces, huge inflation, loss of livelihoods, many massive challenges. And of course, Mansukh Mandavia, very earnest, sincere, hardworking, as you said, the caste of the Prime Minister. As health minister, I consider health to be the most important ministry in the government, because that is what determines your foundation, your base, and he's a man to be watched to see how he will address a challenge like child malnutrition, where irreversible damage done to children between the ages of 0 and 2, which cannot be reversed later.
That's right.
Or other challenges that are. So, but if you were to ask me, pinpoint to one, overall, I would say maybe it is too early. And of course, one word on Yogi Adityanath, very impressive, that victory. Also hardworking, has an independent mass following, independent of the Prime Minister. Yet the victory was also, the credit should be given to the Prime Minister as well as Amit Shah. And I would have a bit of a problem myself on the bulldozer politics, because you need, in a democracy, you must have the rule of law.
Yes.
So I would say all of them at one level are impressive, have achieved things. But I would find it very difficult to choose one. But
so I'm going to take that question to you a little later, Neerja, after you've heard from others, and then perhaps you'll be able to come to the conclusion. Radhika Ramaseshan, here is a list. Several of them have complete trust of the Prime Minister, and in governance also they have played important role. We may look at Yogi Adityanath's governance model differently, but it was also Sheher Mein Shasan and Gaon Mein Rashan that got him Uttar Pradesh. So there is also that Delhi model which Aam Aadmi Party has promised in the state of Punjab. Talking about Nirmala Sitharaman, she has the trust of the Prime Minister, the manner in which she has navigated the entire economy, and also she was the face of the entire Atmanirbhar Bharat package, which was announced by her in multiple press conferences, and of course Mansukh Mandavia as well. While we look at KTR a little later, but tell us about these players.
Yeah, Nirmala Sitharaman has an unenviable job, because the economy has been through such rough patches. I mean, there are challenges from outside, external challenges. Overall, the global economy has suffered on account of the pandemic, on account of Ukraine, and the oil sector has gone completely askew. So Nirmala has done a very able holding operation, I have to say that. And she hasn't let the economy go anywhere close to crashing. She's managed to do an able holding operation, as you put it. Now, of course, I mean, we will have to see what happens in the months to come. But I think so far she has acquitted herself quite competently in the circumstances. She's done a very good job of defending the government. I mean, the government has come under fire from the opposition. There is a Bharat Jodo Yatra, which is focusing entirely on price rise and joblessness. These are problems that remain. I am not taking away from the seriousness of these problems, but in the overall circumstances, I think Nirmala has done an able job. Now, coming to Yogi Adityanath, of course, he has evolved his own model of governance, buttressed, no doubt, by help and support from the center.
Yes.
When we talk about UP elections, it was not a one-person show at all. There was the Prime Minister, there was Amit Shah, and it was like a trio which delivered the votes in Uttar Pradesh. Of course, the leading face was that of Yogi Adityanath, and a huge number of votes went on his name. As you rightly said, his ability to control law and order, and of course the freebies which were distributed during the pandemic, very crucial. However, I would give kudos to Mansukh Bhai Mandavia. Let's remember, the pandemic started around 2020 and he took over in 2021.
Yes.
2020, initially, any government would grope in the dark when confronted with a huge health crisis of that kind. And there were glitches, there were problems between the center and the states. I mean, especially the non-BJP states. I mean, there were complaints galore about distribution of medical resources, and the hospitals were under great stress, both government and private hospital. Now, when Mansukh Bhai took over in 2021, there was a certain kind of stability seemed to have set in the health system overall. The vaccine program started on a war footing, mostly everywhere. Of course, there were little complaints, but one is not going into that. You had serial vaccine programs, and ultimately India was able to get on top of the situation.
Yes. So Radhika and Neerja, you have spoken about what all is working for these candidates. In the end of this program, I'm going to ask you who according to you is the most deserving. Please think about it. But before